Hi, welcome back to Jumpstart Code. This is Pam Price. Today we are going to talk about creating drop-down and list box elements that can be used with forms. These particular elements don't use the input tag as we have used with other things like text boxes and radio buttons. We're going to use two different tags, select and option. It's actually going to remind you a little bit of how we set up unordered lists. So let's take a look at this code. This is just my standard page here, and I've got a header, and then this is my drop down. I'll put a comment here. I'm going to create a drop down item. And I have a label. I've shown you guys that I like to nest the element inside of the label. So I'm going to allow you to select various car models. So we start with a select tag, and the select tag basically encompasses all of the options that you have. I'm giving it an ID and a name that represent what this is. This is going to be a particular model of a car. So again, similar to when we did unordered lists, where you would have a UL and then you would have an LI inside, for each of the options, we use an option tag. And we specify the value because that's what's going to be passed if we submit this form. And then here is the data that we're going to show. So I'm going to show a Toyota, a Honda, a Nissan, a Hyundai. All right, we're going to come back to what's at the bottom here in just a second. So let me show you what this looks like. If I refresh this page, you can see what we have, that I can click here and it allows me to choose one of the options that are here. Now, when you are creating forms, you know, a lot of times you have to be concerned with real estate, with the space that things are taking up. And so the nice thing about a drop down here is that it doesn't take up that much space. However, you don't see all of the options at one time, you know, and you may not need to. It just depends on what you want. Doing one option like this could also be accomplished using a set of radio buttons as we've done before. So design of your user interface is always a very important thing that you have to start with before you start actually writing your code. Now, one other little option here. Suppose I would like to see all of the available options. I want them to all be displayed here. Then I can add an attribute here called size. And if I say size equals, in this case, I have 4 options, then we will refresh this page. And you see now I can see all of the options that are available. So if that's the user experience that you want to provide, then you can do that. Another reason why you might want to do this is suppose I actually want you to choose more than one. Now in this case, this may not be a good example, selecting car models, but if I want to allow you to make multiple selections here, then also in this select tag, I will add the word multiple. So sometimes there are attributes that all you have to do is just the name. You don't have to say equals something. So I'll just add multiple on this line, and I will save this. And now you see, let me refresh it again. So to show the multiple options here, you actually have to click, and you'll have to use the control button and click, and you're able to make multiple selections. And if this form had a submit button, then all of those options would be selected. I'll show you just if I take off multiple, and now I click, you're not seeing me, but I'm holding down the control button, and it will only allow me still to select one at a time. So again, in coding, there are always lots of options, and the most important thing is to first of all decide what it is that you are trying to accomplish, and then determine the syntax that you need to use to accomplish that.